NBA fans, welcome back. Look, I want to sit down and talk to you about the Oklahoma City Thunder and why and how they are going to dominate the next decade of the NBA because, bro, they are nasty and they're going to be nasty. But before jumping into it, like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the family, join the community, do the whole kit and caboodle. I am almost at 1K, guys. I can't ask for it anymore. I'm getting tired of it. Get me to 1K, please. Let's get into it. So, as you know, the Oklahoma City Thunder has a stockpile of draft picks. From Sam Presti's, beginning of his regime in Oklahoma City Thunder, he has always done a really good job of drafting and just kind of forming a team. Sam Presti is one of the better general managers in the NBA, and that's not just my opinion. That is league-renowned opinion right there. Currently, they have 34 draft picks. 34. To put that in perspective, guys, there are 2 goddamn rounds in an NBA draft. That just means on a regular basis, a team will have 2 picks. I know it usually doesn't turn out to be like that. Some teams have 1, some teams have 0, some teams have 3, 4. But to have 34 picks in, I think, the next 5 or 6 years is just utterly ridiculous. I mean, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Sam Presti is taking the Sam Hinkie idea of tanking and turning it into a revolutionized and, honestly, a better approach. And it's incredibly impressive because not only do the Oklahoma City Thunder have so much potential for the future, but the team is still pretty good right now. They are honestly trying to tank, but their team is too talented and it just plays too well together to actually lose games. And what's beautiful about that is that the team is actually experiencing the feeling of winning. The one thing where the process for the Sixers kind of messed up early on, and it's still kind of affecting the team now, is the team never really had winning. They were never a winning team. When they were losing and down bad, they were down bad. The Thunder are down bad, but they're still kind of playing pretty well. They have some really good games, and they are a competitive team in the Western Conference. I think if they're in the Eastern Conference, they're probably a playing team in the 10th, 11th spot. I think they're better than Chicago. I think they're better than a lot of teams. And the thing is, Chicago's trying to be good, and the Thunder are trying to be bad. And that is because of the drafting and the trades that they've made in the past couple of years. First of all, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is becoming a superstar in front of our eyes. The man is like 21 years old and he's averaging 24 points a game as the number 1 option. He has been really, really good. And what's really impressive about his game is the fact that every single year, basically every time he goes out on the court, you see improvements. You see the kid grinding to get better. His jump shot has improved mightily over the years. His creation, his playmaking, his ball handling has all improved, and it's at a borderline superstar level, and he is an extremely young guy who's only going to get better. And what's really, really cool about the Thunder is they have depth, like genuine depth, and their depth is like, let's say, I wrote down a couple dudes: Darius Bazley, Theo Maledon, Moses Brown, Kendrick Williams, Isaiah Roby. All of those players are younger than I am, and all of those players are getting better every single year to a point where I think they've all already kind of been better than ever expected of them. Kendrick Williams kind of bounced around in the Pelicans for a little bit, and he wasn't getting consistent time. He wasn't very good. Now in Oklahoma City, he is one of the better slashers in the entire league. He's a good defender. All he needs to do is improve on a jump shot, and he's going to be a legitimate piece. Moses Brown is a G League product who is 7 foot plus and just shows absolute rim running athleticism ability. That's extremely impressive. Darius Bazley has been way better than I thought he was ever going to be. His jump shot looks really good. He's becoming a genuine offensive option on a pretty decent team, and that's incredibly impressive. And I mean, Theo Maledon and Isaiah Roby. Theo Maledon is an unbelievable playmaker off the bench. He's been way better than most scouts have ever expected him to be in his first year. And Maledon's a good ball player. He's a really, really good playmaker. He's a good shot creator, and if he improves on jump shot like most of these guys, they're going to be good dudes. But the thing about those guys that I said right there, those dudes are contending level role players probably right now. Not all of them, I understand that, but this year, next year, and the year after, they're going to be the core to this team's bench, and that is really, really important on winning teams. And I haven't even mentioned one of my favorite players in the league of Lou Dort from Arizona State. I was so high on this kid because I personally thought this kid had a motor. His motor to just get better. His motor to just play every single play. And I saw that and I viewed that as he's going to be a really good defender in the NBA. And what has he done? He has been a phenomenal top 10, arguably, defender in the NBA. And the three-point shot is, I think, around 33%, which is better than he's been at in his previous years, and I think it's further along than most people expected of him. I think Lou Dort is becoming one of the better 3-and-D players in the entire NBA. He has had games like against the Clippers last year in the playoffs where he just goes off. I mean, I don't think, is it in the playoffs? I don't think it was in the playoffs. I don't know, but you know what I mean. Lou Dort is legit. Like, he is super legit. He has an ability to be a starting defender on a really, really good, arguably contending team now. I mean, he is really good. To put it in Sixers perspectives, compare him to him and Matisse Thybulle. He is what we want Matisse Thybulle to be, and Lou Dort is that already. He is really, really good. And the craziest thing about this video is I haven't even mentioned the guy with the biggest ceiling on their team. Alexei Pokusevski, I'm going to call him Poku because I don't think I'm going to be able to say that name right again, is ridiculous. He is the youngest player in the entire league. He is 19 years old, and he shows flashes at times of being a legitimate, perennial all-star type of player. He is 7 feet, 7'1", and he plays like a genuine two-guard. He is an NBA unicorn. We have not seen guys that play like him because you can argue and say Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant has always been a forward. Poku is not a forward. He just isn't. It's really, really strange. Watching him play he's the dribbler on the pick and roll. He's oftentimes a playmaker. And the thing about him is his playmaking and his vision are elite. They're elite. Like, they are really, really good. And his best attribute, arguably, is his shot creation. He is a really good decision maker coming off of pick and rolls. He always seems to make good passes. And in the paint, he is a really good passer. He is a really creative passer. He finds guys open that most guys can't. He is able to get it over defenders because the guy is 49 feet tall. And he is a really good free throw shooter, in which I believe he's going to translate that over into his three-point game. He's had games this year when he had 7 threes, 6 threes. He has lit it up from 3, but he's not consistent. He's shooting under 30% from 3 so far this year, but those games are promising. Those games are his flashes of absolute greatness. It's hard to make this comparison, but at the same time, it's not too hard. Him and Giannis are very, very similar. Giannis played in the B League organization in Greece, and that's exactly the same thing that Poku did. And they came from the exact same league in Europe, and they both come in super, super skinny. And you see Giannis, over a span of 5 years, get a lot bigger. I mean, Giannis is an absolute house. Poku weighs like 15 pounds on a really, really good day, soaking wet. That's not going to work in the NBA. He's going to get bullied around. Defensively, he's not there yet. But the thing is, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, Poku has a chance to be an MVP type of guy. And that's wild. He is the youngest player in the NBA, and Oklahoma City, with 34 picks in their arsenal, took a chance. They took a chance on Poku in the first round because why not when you have 34 picks in the upcoming years? And with that ability to have extra leeway to fall back on if you make a mistake because you know you have 34 picks, you find gems. And that is what they did with Poku. They found a gem. A gem. And the thing is that the Thunder have, as I said for the 15th time, 34 picks that they haven't even used yet. And obviously, I'm not going to sit here and tell you they're going to use every pick because no shit, Sherlock, they're not. But the thing is, the most powerful thing about it is they can package those picks and get basically any superstar they want. For the next couple of years, the Thunder can offer a better package than any team for anybody. And that is powerful. Sincerely powerful. The Thunder are going to arguably dominate the 2030s, and you could genuinely see a dynasty be built from this if all things go well and if injuries aren't a big thing and if, big organizational mistakes don't happen. The Oklahoma City Thunder have set themselves up for genuine greatness, and I love it. Peace out.